Yay! Now we're off. Live from New York, it's Ask an Engineer.
Hi, everybody.
That was a fun trick.
I love the little Battery Low song. It's me, Lady Ada, with Mr. Lady Ada, broadcasting live from Brooklyn. We're building our studio over from scratch because we love to, we don't have, like a video studio. We're just doing it like our own thing.
We're doing it live. That was myself and some nice little wooden puppets, or whatever you want to call them, speakers and more from Teenage Engineering. I'm doing some fun hacks and mods with those, doing stuff with the studio. As you can tell, we're doing different cameras. Everything's weird. Buckle up, stay tuned. We have discounts and more.
Okay,
We're gonna do Ask an Engineer. We're gonna do it. The code, you're just gonna have to wait a second, because I didn't put a graphic of what the code is. You're just gonna have to know it's a OSS AI. We'll talk about the open source AI stuff tonight.
OSS.
We can finally talk about some AI stuff, because everyone who's freaky about it, stop.
Yeah.
We're using it in a neat way with hardware, and it's open source, and you're gonna be able to sell it. And trust me when I say it matters if something is open source or not. Let's kick it. So on tonight's show, we'll talk a little bit about open source hardware. We're going to do Ion and PI and new products. That's how we're lining up. And if there's time for other stuff, we will. And then we're going to do some recordings and some other live shows. We had a late night. Just did show and tell. For Ion and PI, it's Raspberry Pi. It's brought to you by DigiKey. We'll be talking about, you guessed it, some Raspberry Pi stuff that you may have not seen yet. Or maybe you have. Who knows? New products, definitely stuff you haven't seen yet. And we'll be doing a tour of all of our new e-ink stuff. Some demos, some surprises. Kind of like the beginning of, I think, unlocking e-ink for everyone. We'll answer your questions. We do it on Discord, adafruit.it/Discord or discord.gg/Adafruit. All that and more on, you guessed it, is Ask an Engineer. So this is what it looks like. And then, this is like one camera that's over there. I thought we would do this. We figured out it was in the basement with Radiohead, where they had all the different cameras, and then they went on tour with that same setup. That was a show I saw. We saw that when we saw it on like an island somewhere. Yeah. Anyways,
this is desaturated. I like this.
Yeah, it's just broken.
But then like this one is like proper. I don't know.
Yeah, this one is a little weird. See, look at that.
It's like, hi.
Yeah. It's a little weird. Okay. So anywho, we have a bunch of stuff that we're working on, some top secret stuff and some more things. And then I hid some stuff over there.
Are you showing people my feet?
That's not the top secret stuff. That is top secret stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's kick it off.
All right.
We're going to start with Ion and PI.
Okay.
Lady Ada.
Let's do it.
Are you ready?
Yep.
Ion and PI.
Ion and PI. Brought to you by DigiKey and Adafruit. Every single week, Lady Ada is your power of engineering to help you find the things that are coming out new. That's why it's new product introduction. It's like the great search, except for she's finding it for you. And it's new.
Yeah.
This week's Raspberry Pi.
On a platter. Yes, this week we're looking at Raspberry Pi products.
Notice the green screen is not behind us.
How about I center?
Yeah.
Okay.
All
All right. Oh, I can drive. So,
You want to drive?
Yeah, sure.
You want to do it? Okay. Watch out. Don't press the center button. Whatever. Just don't. If you do, can I just tell me? Give me a heads up.
Yeah,
Okay.
I won't. Okay. This week is Raspberry Pi. Can I hide me actually? Because I don't know if you want me here.
What?
Because then I can show the components. Thank you. This week we're looking at the RM2 module from Raspberry Pi. This is something that people kind of were expecting was coming out because there were a lot of leaked photos and such. This is a Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, and Bluetooth Low Energy module available from the folks at Raspberry Pi that contains an Infineon CYW43439. It was a Broadcom, I don't know, Cypress maybe, and then now it's Infineon. And it adds, 2.4 gigahertz wireless. What I really like, it has that Bluetooth Classic, which is not always included in Wi-Fi / BLE modules. And it's got really great software support, and it's a tried and true and tested chipset. So this comes from the work that Raspberry Pi has been doing for 2015, a decade now. With the Raspberry Pi single board computer, starting with the Pi 3, they've added a Wi-Fi chip. So if you see the top left corner there's a little white rectangle. That is a antenna for Bluetooth and Wi-Fi and Bluetooth Classic using an earlier version of that CYW chip. I don't know, it was like the 43556 or something. I don't remember. It's in the text. And this allowed them to basically have Wi-Fi and Bluetooth for keyboards and mice and Bluetooth for audio to the Raspberry Pi computer. So if you didn't have Ethernet, you didn't have to get like a separate USB dongle to add wireless, which is really great because most modern computers and laptops have Wi-Fi and Bluetooth built in. And then when they released the RP2040 and RP2350 chips, they made these Pico boards that are so popular, very low cost, $4 and $6. And then they added a version, the Pico W and the Pico 2W, which also adds a tinned silver thing on the left there. That's that CYW43439 chip under a tin, and the whole board is certified, FCC and IC. So it's ready to go, and you can use it for, again, wireless, Bluetooth, Bluetooth Classic, for a very low cost as a coprocessor to the RP2040 or the 2350. Now, you can buy this chip from DigiKey directly. It's even in stock. But what's interesting is that it's basically for the same price as buying a couple of the chips. You can get a module that's ready to go. And what's really nice is that, this is a BGA chip. You also need a crystal, you need the antenna, you need certification. You probably want to tin it. Before you know it, it's like, okay, it's basically $4. Well, then you can just buy the ready-to-go module, which has big castellated pads, which I like. It's very compact. You can fit it onto your dev board or your final product. And this way you don't have to do the embedding of that entire Pico board. Also, let's say you want more flash memory, right? Or you want to add PSRAM. That's not something that's easy to do with the Pico 2 because it's a Pico 2W or Pico W. They're already, made and constructed, and, you can't change things like the dimensions, and you can't change the amount of flash easily because it's, the footprint is preset. So we've seen this chip this module show up on a couple boards. Like, for example, Pimoroni has the Pico Plus 2W. They're friends of Raspberry Pi. So they kind of became early alpha / beta testers of the module by placing it onto the back of this board to add, wireless support. If you want to use this module, it has, if you saw, there's not a lot of pins on it. It basically uses SPI, power, and a couple signal pins to connect to a microcontroller or actually it could be a microcomputer too. There are drivers for the CYW43439, although in this case, I'm going to be talking mostly about microcontrollers. And one thing to note is that while in theory you could use this with other microcontrollers, your STMs, your Atmels, your PICs, whatever, Renaissance, whatever, what they really support only is to use it as a coprocessor for Raspberry Pi microcontrollers, like, as of right now, the RP2040 and our 2350 series. Now, again, there's nothing technically keeping you from connecting other things, but the firmware that's available through the Pico SDK is licensed specifically for use with the 2 series, the Bluetooth stack isn't, we'll show that, but the Wi-Fi firmware, which was written, with a collaboration with another company, is not available for non-commercial uses without licensing, unless you're using it with an RP2 microcontroller. So basically, as long as you're using it with a Raspberry Pi chip, you're good to go. If you're using it with something else, you would have to license it. That said, we did find another standalone Wi-Fi driver. We haven't tried it, but this would be MIT licensed, and maybe you would be able to use it. So I do think it would be cool for people to be able to use this with other chips if they desired, but you're going to get the best performance and capabilities and functionality with the RP2 series. And as I mentioned, there's also Bluetooth, classic Bluetooth Low Energy. That's supported through BT Stack, which is completely free licensed. So if, for example, you want to use this just as a Bluetooth, coprocessor for BLE or Bluetooth Classic, you just install BT Stack, which is a cross-platform, low-memory microcontroller firmware stack. And right now, there's only one part number, but it sounds like, based on their part number classification here, they might eventually have a version that has 5 gigahertz. They might have versions that does Wi-Fi 6 or more and different Bluetooth standards. But right now, they only stock the RMC 2452. Everyone sort of calls it the RM2 module, but that's the correct part number. And it's in stock at DigiKey right now. You can purchase it $4 in quantity. You can get it on tape and reel for immediate pick and placing. It also is not too bad to hand solder if you so wanted to. Yeah, that's it.
One of the neat things about this is it was developed kind of in the open.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. They weren't too secret about it. They were, because people saw that there was dev boards with this.
It helped us out. We have things that we've made under this FriendDA type thing. Yeah. It's possible, everyone, and they hit the ground running.
Yeah.
I think this is pretty good.
All right.
Good pick.
That's INPI. So pick some up. Available at DigiKey.
Eye on NPI.
Okay, we're back.
Okay.
Which one is the one? Which one do you like the most? Do you like this one? I like black and white.
Greenish. Yeah, greenish.
Yeah.
Matrixy.
Yeah. This is a matrix one. Let's do new products, and then we get to call it a night. All right, and then we'll do the top secret stuff as videos.
Okay.
Later, okay.
Yeah, sure.
All right, everybody. Let's jump to products. Oh, don't forget the code is. We'll talk a little bit about the GPT.
Should I do that now or after?
OSS. No, we'll do it after new products. Let's take care of biz. Please buy something so we can keep hacking stuff and doing things that you're gonna like.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ready?
Yep.
All right, new products.
Okay, lots of e-ink displays.
Yeah.
So we'll show some images and we'll go pop to the website to see all the options available.
Yeah, so I thought what we could do is, we're going to end on a big note, but let's go to
chonker. Okay.
Yeah, let's go to the.
Oh, great.
I have all the pages up.
Okay.
If you want to navigate.
Yeah, can I nav?
Yeah, you're going to nav.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah,
Give me the steering wheel.
What? Yeah,
I haven't been drinking, I promise.
Yeah, and if you want, I can move you around if you want to be in here, but I don't think you do.
No, I don't.
Okay. All right. So
it's bad enough to have to hear me.
Okay, you can start going through the products.
Okay.
All right, go.
So we started last week by we've been adding e-ink. So we had, we did the mag tag, yay, and then we've added the raw displays because I'm finally able to get displays at a good price in large enough quantities that I can stock them. So last week we did the 2.13 and the 4.2 inch, which are nice and popular. This week we're adding more sizes, like the 2.66 inch, which is very similar to like the 2.9 inch, but monochrome and grayscale. We'll get demo images of the monochrome. And this shows it to scale with a feather. These are the bare displays. Like we will have breakout boards, but these are people who want to use it with a bare display. So in that case, you need a driver board, something with a 24-pin e-ink connector, like our Think Ink Feather, which is what I recommend. And this one is a tricolor version, so it's black, white with red. And one thing to note is that pixels can be either white background, black pixel, or red pixel. You can't mix them like RGB, right? So it's like you can't get purple from mixing black and red. You can only have pixels one color or the other, but you can use dithering effects to get a good look. We also put in the 3.7 inch monochrome, which, is nice. This one cannot do grayscale at all. It's only monochrome. So it's like black and white pixels, but you get like 416 by 240 pixels. That's kind of nice. And then there's also a tricolor version. It's a tiny bit more, but you get, of course, that nice red highlight. We also put in, I don't think it, I have to go back to the new products. So we got the 3.7s, and then we also, the 5.83s are coming next week. The big one is the 7.5-inch monochrome. You haven't gotten the tricolor in, but this is like a massive 800 by 480 pixels. Maybe we can go to the overhead.
Yeah, this is a big deal. Okay, overhead is, I made it gigantic.
Yeah.
So you could go up if you want.
No, I know. This is the 3.7 inch, which I really like. It's like a nice chunky. So it's like a size of like a business card or so. And you can see how fast it updates. It looks really good. And then of course you can depower it and it maintains the image, even when depowered. And then this is the huge 7th. So this is the one I'm really excited about because I really want to do these projects with like, massive amount of pixels. 7.5-inch monochrome. And again, like fairly fast updates. Only takes like a second or so. It looks so good because there's so many pixels. You can see it in daylight very easily. You don't need a lot of light because it's very high contrast. Black and white pixels, and we'll also have a version that's monochromatic as well. And then next week we'll show off the 5.83. I didn't get in this week, but we'll have a version that's 5.83. So we'll have more and more pixels. Okay, so let's go back to
we have some nice photos too. If you want to check it out, you can zoom into them and more. And then we have a lot of ways that you're going to get cool content on it. As well.
All right, so we'll do that. So let's go back.
You want to go to the product page?
Yeah, well, because we have the
good. You could
the stars of the show. So the e-inks, we love them, but they're not manufactured in house. So the stars of the show is, first off, we've got the QMC 5883 magnetometer. Now we have a lot of magnetometers in stock, and so you're probably wondering, like, why do you have another one? Why not use the List 3DH or the List 2DH? I've seen this QMC 5883 used in a lot of quadcopters and robots, and I figured, maybe people want a little breakout. It's a fairly simple sensor. I do like it has fairly wide Gauss range. It goes from ±2 up to ±30 Gauss, and you can use it over I2C very easily. It doesn't have a very complicated driver. I go to driver and Arduino. We're going to have it available in CircuitPython and Python, so people can use this. There's also the QMC 5883L, but it seemed to be discontinued, and the P was the only subtype I could get. But still, I think, again, if you're doing robotics and you want something that uses this chipset, now you have something plug and play with STEMMA QT. And then the star of the show, this one is really fun. So we saw these cool clear shaft potentiometers, and there's a little bit of a gap between the potentiometer and the PCB. And so I could fit a little NeoPixel inside of it. And so, in this demo, I just have a microcontroller reading the potentiometer analog read input and writing the NeoPixel output, and it looks like really awesome. The whole thing glows. And you could get a shaft that goes on it, a potentiometer knob that could go on it, but although it doesn't, actually has more notches than a T18, I think. It looks like a T30 or something. But it also has this cute little little notchy thingy here to show you where it is. Honestly, I've actually seen this potentiometer used without a knob, just as is, using the little divots here as a grip. It's easy to use. We have two sets of pads and some header you can solder on. The potentiometer, you get the negative and positive and center. And then for the NeoPixel, you get ground, power, and input. And then on the other side, output. So you could chain these together. And if you are using this, as most people would, where you have the same power and ground potentiometer and LED, you can solder close the jumpers on the back, and that saves you 2 jumper wires. But this would be really cool. I'm designing a synth, and I'm maybe using this. I thought this would be a great little breakout for people who want like a little bit of glow. You want to have some feedback coming in through your potentiometer. So check out the Neopod. That's the star of the show today.
Okay. And then is there anything else that you want to show in the new product section while we're here? Because this This is a day of tours.
Well, we're
Tour
gonna
of
have more
tours.
fruit jams, but nothing yet. No,
Okay.
I mean we're putting stuff in. Like
Okay.
this week, a lot of stuff. Next week, not sure there's
All right.
gonna be as many products.
And then because we have a couple minutes, because I wanted to give us a half an hour. Folks are interested in color ink. We got that. These are the covers for the best thing ever.
Yeah.
If you have anything with USB, just get these. Like, trust me, you're gonna save years of life. Anyhow, that's everything that's going on here. We're gonna play some videos and more during the week.
Yeah.
And that's the new products
Okay.
for this week. Thank you, everybody. Don't forget to pick up something in the store. That's
Pick
new
up a
products.
thinking feather and that 7.5 inch display. Make something big.
Yeah, and we'll do a little bit of behind the scenes in a sec. So let's go. All right, so we're almost out of here. Look at that thing just going.
Oh wait, I have to. Yeah, put this in.
What?
It's big.
Yeah, look at it.
Yeah.
Put a hand or something like that. What's that? Yeah.
Bum, bum, bum. I have it clearing it out to get the best look.
Yeah.
This is nice.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So the code is open.
OSSAI.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me make sure. Because
Do you want me to write it down with like the Sharpie?
what? No, we have
Did you want the bot to?
yeah, we have a drawing robot, but that would be a good idea to put that on the code. We'll do that next week. That's a good idea, right? Yeah, it's OSSAI.
In the background, just like drawing the big code, like the code is.
Yeah, actually, you know what? I got a marker out here. Can you try this out? So this is Dave trying out stuff too.
Wait.
This is a chalk marker. No, that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta like this. That's
Oh, on this thing.
yeah. This is the.
Well, duh.
Hi.
Okay.
So this is. Yeah, this is the thing, and then.
Okay, so the code is.
Well, yeah, this is the chalk board. It's a chalkboard, like whiteboard thing that
Yeah.
you see, like
Yeah.
it's supposed to, and it's you write in here. It's
Okay.
it's OSSAI.
SSAI.
That's the code.
The code.
Okay.
There you go.
All right, that's the code.
This is 10%
10% off until midnight. Okay.
until Mr. Lady passes out.
Yeah. So let's pop over here and then. All right. So one of the things that we've been waiting for.
Yeah.
There it goes. That does more.
Sorry. Whew.
Yeah. Well, that's the camera that's coming
Too
off here.
technical.
Well, so by the way, that's the camera that's here. You can kind of see we have a camera cover.
Oh.
Bye.
Bye.
Good idea to have this. So we have some things that we're working on that require a lot of what people are calling intelligence. It's not.
Yeah.
It's just like autocomplete. So the OpenAI GPT, what are they calling? Like lightweight? No, lower weight, something weight.
Open weight model?
Open weight is an open source thing that you can download and sell. And I'm just going to speak in basic terms because like one of the problems with hardware for a long time was you get this module that was smart, right?
Yeah.
You put this chip in or something, and the code you get is proprietary, and you can't do anything with it. You can't sell it. You can't modify it. You can't do anything.
Yeah.
Or you'd have to pay a lot of money.
Yeah.
Certainly wasn't open source. And like Arduino came along. There's other things that came along, but Arduino is the story that like kind of made it so dev companies could do coding, or dev entities or people or artists could do coding for something that was kind of hard in the past to get or do. And then for people that are engineers like you were able to like do a lot of prototyping, a lot of sensor work, a common library across all things. So that was really neat. So we've been waiting for something like that with AI. And by the way, let me just link slap this URL, this part of the video. So what people are calling AI, these LLMs, think of it as like a really, really amazing prop in a movie. And you can have that prop do anything because it's made out of video cards. You want it to be the best accountant. And it's like kind of, it's funny how people are talking about it. Like, oh, you want the like smartest person in the world. You want the accountant that's going to solve all your problems.
I call it a well-read but very naive intern, but okay,
I don't-
maybe, yeah.
So everyone's saying, but no one's saying, oh, it's just an actor. Because if you say actor, that means it's lying.
Yeah.
But I think most people agree Daniel Day-Lewis probably learned how to be a butcher or probably learned how to like be a cobbler. Like some people go a little too
He's
far.
not really an oil man.
Yeah, he is. Because what's the difference? So what's the difference? If he is a butcher and he makes you a meal,
Yeah.
chops up meat and everything, but he's an actor, did that meal really happen or was it an acting meal? It's just a philosophical thing I think that people could talk about with AI.
Okay.
So my thing is, it's not really the best accountant. It's acting like the best accountant. Yeah, like this toy, this prop happens to work.
Yeah.
Like the real thing.
Yeah.
But that's how weird our fiction has become, where the thing that we used to say is like a prop on stage. It used to be hollow, and now it's still hollow. I mean, it doesn't think. It's not the world's best accountant that has feelings. It's a thing that pretends to be.
What kind of reminds me, it's like people have built like tricorders, but this could be like a real, like people are like, I want to build a real tricorder, but it's like, it's still
I was talking to Bruce Sterling did a talk. He's like, I want to build a real tricorder. So everyone's like kind of dancing around. So I'm like, why don't everyone just call it an actor? Anyways.
Yeah.
So what we want to do is help add intelligence the way we added hardware and like Python and code and all these things to the physical world.
Yeah.
So one of the things that kind of was neat is you could take chips and a PCB and sensors and make a costume.
Yeah.
And that's what you did.
Right.
We made Flora and we had all these cool things. But if you wanted to code for it, if you wanted to make it do other things, you'd plug it into a computer. We make it as easy as possible. You plug it in, it shows up a USB drive. You double click a thing. You're in a text file. You can edit right there on the fly. You can do it on your phone. Is it easy enough? No. There still needs to be something in between. Like you should be able to say like, I want my costume to glow like that thing over there. Or I want my costume to turn that color pink. Like that thing over there.
Yeah.
Like there should be some type of human language interface because we don't think in file and folders. So this GPT OSS is kind of like that. People are going to eventually use it for that.
Yeah.
Although it requires like a Raspberry Pi or like a laptop. That's not bad because a Raspberry Pi or a laptop a few years ago is what we have on microcontrollers now.
It's getting better and better. And yes, the microcontrollers, like, we've seen, and we've covered on INPI, a bunch of them recently, they're becoming like crossover. They're basically, Linux. Like the ESP-P4 is coming out and it can have, megabytes of flash and SRAM, PSRAM and SRAM built in. It's not a very fast processor, but like, with a little, like a coprocessor assistant that would help, it could probably run like small models, but much better than the TensorFlow Lite from microcontrollers, which sucked.
So here's the thing that I don't think they're going to, like, we're not going to hear in the news, like, this like EdgeML and like this little tiny model. So we made one that you said cat and it would show a picture of a cat, dog, picture of a dog. We trained it. We used Docker. We used all these things and no one has made anything like it since. It was terrible. And it was terrible. But we did custom wake words. There's no like maker projects or even like, professional developers that are like doing stuff like that. They've kind of skipped right to do all cloud, but now we're going back.
I think that's healthy. I think it's
good.
Is. Like for privacy, for security.
So here's the terms you're going to hear.
Yeah.
And like we're really busy and it's hard to write about and talk about some things, especially like when you've got other stuff to do. But you're going to hear the term personal AI. Ignore it because they're just going to say it's personal AI. Sign up on the website, make it personal. No. Look at the specs. Get yourself a laptop. Remember when you installed Linux and you're like, yay, and like it unlocked an entire career? I'm talking like to the people, if you know, you know. Go install one of these things and have it do something like put it next to your laser cutter and type in or speak and say, I want to cut a gear that's this size by this size and output SVG and put it on a USB drive. Like you can have this, that's just file manipulation. That's all it is. Mm-hmm. It's just math. And Tim, who's on the team, did a web page because you can like vibe code. And it's like there's sliders, you make a thing. Mm-hmm. And now all of a sudden you have a standalone machine that's the cost of the download. It's free, you could sell it. And then the cost of the device, which is probably, you could probably do this, a standalone intelligence module for like $500. But think about the cost of that and how it's going to be essentially embedded in everything. So toys are going to be weird. Everything we touch is going to be weird. This is like day one of this.
Yeah, we want to talk like a text-to-speech model that fits in 25 megabytes of RAM, which is like not that much.
So everything's happening all at once here.
Totally beats, Talking Moose.
And with the little tiny 25 megabyte module, so it's like everyone's coming to our town.
Yeah.
And let me tell you how important it is for open source. Because it's open source and there's a license for open source, it's clearly marked open source. This returns OpenAI to their open source model that they originally started off as.
Yeah.
And I think it's a good reminder, maybe even a good warning, that if you say you're going to do open source, you should do open source. If you call yourself OpenAI, do it. And they did. And if you're like Arduino, stick to open source. And when things change one day, it's important to declare what's open and what's not.
I
That's
agree.
all I'm saying. And that's why it's important what OpenAI did. Because you know what? Everyone's copying each other. So you know what we're going to see tomorrow? Like Perplexity's mobile modeling. Because it's all about stock prices or investor values and all that. And there are people that are probably going to take these things and do weird, interesting stuff. But think of what Bill from AT Makers is going to do.
Yeah.
So there's wheelchair interfaces that there's really no way that anyone's going to code for it. The old way to interacting with it, serial commands, is like, there's not enough people that are alive that do it anymore.
Yeah, but you also don't have internet. You can't like send
No internet.
stuff to ChatGPT.
No.
But what if you have it?
But if you have it locally, you could be like, here's the serial protocol. Here's how I have to talk to it. And like, once that's in, it's in, and it's air gapped and sealed, and like, that's it. This little chunk of intelligence. And like, yeah, like I guess someone could crack it open and eventually trick it to curse or something. But like, why are you doing that? On a kid's wheelchair. So that's our show for tonight.
Okay.
Something to think about. We'll have some examples and more. We can finally talk about some of the things that we've been working on. It's cool. Wouldn't you like an e-ink screen that gave you the news, but it didn't have any personal information that goes out there or tracks you?
Let's go back to that code. 10% off.
Bye, everybody. This has been Adafruit production.
Later. Have a good night.
Moment of theater. Okie dokie, let's have these guys play us out. See if they do it.
My battery, let it flow. My battery, let